Warning! If the topic of psychological manipulation and emotional enslavement of women offends you, I want you to stop watching this video. And if you want to continue, you must agree never to use this knowledge to hurt women. Deal? Great. Let's start. As you probably know, conventional wisdom says that it's the guy's job to chase a woman and the female's job to push the guy away. But this notion is an outdated pickup artist style belief which doesn't even hold true anymore. In fact, I've had incredible success by using a mind control method which forces the exact opposite of this to happen. Think about this. Don't we all crave exactly what we can't have? This is known as the forbidden fruit phenomena. When we're told we can't have something, it makes us want it even more. So why wouldn't this be true for love and relationships? I came across a piece of advice by a man named Derek Rake, creator of the infamous Shogun Method strategy of manipulating women. Derek told me that women's urges to chase after the unattainable is deeply wired into their minds. And, as it turns out, this notion is backed by well-documented scientific research. So, how to get women to chase you? Well, here's the answer. You make yourself appear unattainable. How do we do this, though? You must repel her so that her emotional response will be to chase you. After all, as Derek Rake says, women have a natural tendency to chase whatever is running away from them. Therefore, if you repel her, you can then create the space for her to chase you. It's really as simple as that. One technique for this is to use what Derek calls the reverse LJBF method. Don't be alarmed by this abbreviation. LJBF simply stands for Let's Just Be Friends. Saying something like, perhaps we can just be friends. I'm looking for someone who can be that perfect person. Unless you think you might be her, we'll do two things. First, it immediately establishes you as unattainable. Secondly, at the same time, it doesn't completely close off the situation. Why does this work? Well, it's because if you say outright that it wouldn't work, she may decide that you're right, therefore ruining any chance you might have had. So, what do you do instead? Rather than give a negative response, tease her with, I think we're too much alike. We could never argue because, well, not only is this not directly saying no, you're also not giving an obvious invitation. You're actually making yourself appear unattainable. You are keeping her interest, and you are hinting at sexuality all at the same time. Pretty clever, isn't it? And from this point on, you will simply sit back while the woman seduces herself and becomes yours. This is much better than trashy pickup artist advice. Don't you agree? This strategy is simply one of the methods in Derek Rake's work, the Shogun Method, which breaks down into incredible detail psychological techniques which will result in the ultimate control over any woman you desire. However, I do have to let you know that a mind control technique like fractionation can be easily abused, and indeed, there are psychopaths who deliberately use mind control to hurt women. And for this reason, we must control who gets access to this knowledge. So this is what you need to do. At the end of this video, you'll find an opt-in form for you to enter your name and email. Please use your best email address. And after you have entered your details, you'll be redirected to a new page with instructions on how to receive your very own invite to the Fractionation Online Masterclass. Remember to follow the instructions carefully to check if you qualify for the masterclass. Good luck!